Hey, coaches, welcome back to Football Talk with Coach Chip on the good old YouTube. Today we're going to be talking about reading defensive linemen in your run game by reading their shoulders. We're talking option run game. We're going to get after it in just a few minutes. Let's pay a few of these cockeyed bills and give you a little info. All right, you know about the gunpowder spread system, or you've been hiding under a rock and not listening to Football Talk with Coach Chip, the podcast, or watching it on YouTube. The gunpowder spread system is only $100. You'll see that why, though, when you dive into it. It is huge, over 500 pages, and I'm adding on to it at the end of football season 2025, and will perpetually add on to it as long as I'm healthy. And it's a complete system. It goes from everything, how we did it, why we did it, the genesis of some of it, where we started, where we ended up, all of that too. But you can throw in the Big Book of Bucks, the Jet Manual, and the OL Manual for gap down backward blocking for another $50. That's $210 total if you bought them all separately. I'll give you all four for $150. And the cool thing is, I will send it to you for you to check it out. Trial copy. Let me know what you want to do. If you want it, you pay me. If you don't, you delete it from your app, from your device, from your computer, whatever it is you got, because I trust you, because coaches are good people. And I also believe in this system that you'll look at and go like, God dang, this is good stuff, because it's something you can fall back on. It ain't the kind of system where it is that you can just run your offense from it, but it's also where you just get ideas from it. Like, what does Coach Chip call this? Or how did he do that? And how will this fit into what I already do to make what you do better, or even to make your offense into a system? So hit me up at siegel.chip@gmail.com, and I will get that to you by email. And the O-line manual for gap down backward blocking is also available on Amazon, $29.99, or you can order it directly from me. Just send me an email, and I will send it to you. You check it out. If you like it, you pay me. And when you pay me, you send me your address, and I will mail you the physical paperback copy to go along with the ebook. So you have a book to mark up in and highlight in, and also an ebook that's a Google slide, PowerPoint, that you can put on the screen and make presentations to your kid. Listen, this stuff is so good. An 8-year-old who's never played football before, or an experienced 18-year-old varsity lineman can be successful using the stuff from the gap down backward blocking manual. Hit me up today, siegel.chip@gmail.com, or go over to Amazon and buy it from Bezos. But if you buy it from me, you'll also get the ebook. All right, be sure you subscribe to the channel, and that makes you eligible to get any of the over 60 free resources that we make available to subscribers only at Football Talk with Coach Chip. You can find the podcast on Spotify, Apple, and wherever all the major podcast catchers that are out there. I looked it up a while back, and it's like 6 or 7. I never even heard of some of them, but they're out there. How you get podcasts, just go ahead and check that out. But if you have an idea for a video for the YouTube channel, or for a podcast guest, contact me at siegel.chip@gmail.com. It's coaches just like you on the podcast, college coaches, high school coaches, middle school coaches, and even some youth coaches have been on with old Coach Chip. All right, remember our sponsor is Just Play Sports Solutions and their wonderful My Just Play app. You'll be hearing more from them in a little bit. Over 1,000 high schools across the country are using the Just Play Sports Solution, Just Play app, and for the whole team. And then the major colleges that have signed on, all 3 service academies, half the Ivy League schools, Penn State, Clemson, Iowa, UCLA, Arizona State, Oklahoma State, and now the Baltimore Ravens of the NFL are using Just Play Sports Solutions, Just Play app. More about that as we go along. All right, let's get into the crux of the matter here. And that's as fast as I've done the intro in forever. When we started running gun stuff back before that, but when we went to it full time, I wanted to run option because we had athletic quarterbacks. I pestered people. I called people. I said, I visited with people, and I said, Well, how do you teach it? How do you teach the backside read the way that West Virginia was doing it, with Rich Rod? I'm excited that he's back at West Virginia. We'll get to see that option game again. Nobody really knew. Nobody had any answers. A lot of guys, literally, college coaches told me, man, we'll just practice it. And that's when I figured out real quick that the technique and gun is not as, I don't know, this is going to piss somebody off. Like footwork is not a big a deal as it is under center, because I remember like running split back veer and wishbone back in the day. And you had the stuff painted there, the W and all that. And you had to line up, and everything had to be perfect. And it's just not that way. The gun guys didn't really stress that stuff. And you can see the diagrams here. I've got trap. And over here, I've got the zone. By the way, it's the same cockeyed read. It doesn't, some people say, well, I can't do that because we can't run zone at our place. Yeah, you can run it. You can run it off GT. You can run it off trap. If you want to put a sniffer in there, you can run it off power. You can run that backside read off buck. But the question was, how do you read it? So how do you teach your quarterback to read the defensive end? And I've told some of y'all before, one of the things we did was if we wanted the quarterback to keep it, if we liked him keeping it because he was an athlete, we would say, hey, answer this question. Can he tackle you? And if your tailback or running back dominated and you really want him to run it, you tell the quarterback, can he tackle my running back? But there's more to it than that. So I went back to the roots. Like I told you, we ran split back veer in high school. We ran wishbone when I was in college at Troy. We ran split back veer and high formation in the 80s and early 90s when I started coaching. An option out of those things. And so I just went back, the ride and the side, all that stuff. We just did it from gun. All right, so here's your reads. The backside reads on zone, trap, power, buck, whatever it is. This is the backside read. Whatever play you're running, I don't care. Could be the GT. I didn't put that in the list, but it could be. The quarterback should focus on the inside shoulder pad tip of the end man on the line of scrimmage on the backside. Just the way he did with the front side DN in the old split back veer wishbone I formation option days. The quarterback's eyes are on the defensive end that he's reading, or it could be the stand-up backer. Walk down. On his inside shoulder, on the tip. And you say, well, can't he just look at him? And some guys teach eyes. Well, nowadays, hell, you can't see eyes. They wear these cockeyed visors and these face masks are so, you can't see their eyes. But you can see that shoulder pad tip. It's the nearest thing to you on that end man. You teach him to read the inside shoulder of the read key. This is on the line of scrimmage now. We're not talking about RPOs today. We're talking about run game, run option game. Okay, so here's your key points. If the read closes, that means his near shoulder comes inside. That's a pull. If the near shoulder comes inside, that is a pull. If the near shoulder is going up the field, they're getting penetration. That's a give. You're going to run underneath it. If the near shoulder is going away, let's say you did it with a jet action and it kind of sucked him outside a little bit and he stepped out. Or maybe they're in an odd front and he's slanted out. He's in a 4 and he's slanted out. That's a give read. So you see 2 out of the 3 are give reads. In short, if the quarterback's read key sits, steps out, or moves upfield, give it. Now, the sit thing can be debatable. It can be debatable. It could be one of those deals where, like, who do you really, you got a dude at running back and you like him making that kid miss. You could do it. None of this is in stone. But let's just say, I think the de facto for if he sits, you're giving it. If he steps out, you're giving it. If he moves upfield, you're giving it. If the near inside shoulder is coming inside, pull it. Because if it comes inside, he's going to the dive back. He's going to the running back. So like I say at the bottom, if the key read sits or squats, in other words, don't do anything, then it depends on your kids. It's what do you want the dude to do? Who's the dude, the running back or the quarterback? And it depends. All right, specific plays. For this one here, this is trap. And it would be the same if you were running GT to the right and reading the backside in red here you see, or if you were running zone. So this applies to everybody. Okay, you see the blocking, you use your base blocking rules, and you're reading that backside to in. In this one right here, this is a quarterback keep read. Okay, because he's coming inside. He's squeezing the down block. Okay? In this diagram, the read closes. That inside shoulder comes inside, which means it's a pull and a keep. All right, same play. This time he runs upfield. Okay, it's a give. You're going to run your zone. You're going to run your GT counter. You're going to run your trap, as you see the diagram here. This is a give read because the defensive end's inside shoulder went up the field. He cannot tackle your running back. By the way, the quarterback cannot be looking in here at the blocking. You have to trust your line to block. The quarterback can't be looking at the tailback's pocket, the running back's pocket. He's got to be looking at the read. He can't look at the pocket, see the ball, and then read him. As soon as he gets the ball, he needs to open up and look dead at him. The way we taught it with gun was he would be cocked at an angle, about the same angle that line is right there, that red line. You know, I got it going flat right here, the handoff line, but really it's right here. So his eyes are going right there. You want to point your belly button dead at the read key. Tell the quarterback, point his belly button at the read key. Okay? And that way you're looking dead at him. Extend the ball at the same place every time. You do that with reps with the running back, and the running back will find the ball. The running back's responsible for initiating the mesh. He'll look at the ball, he'll see the ball, he'll fit up over the top of it. And you ride and decide if the ball is still in his pocket when he clears the quarterback's front side hip. He's going to lock down and keep it. So tell the quarterback to extend it as deep as he can extend it, as he can reach, and extend that ride as he's looking right through here. Now this one he went out. Why he'll go out, I don't know, especially with the down block, but he could have some kind of stunt called, a slant. So this is a give read because the inside shoulder went away. Now you're going to notice we run different kind of options because you can do, basically under center, you're running the same option. It may be with a fullback, it may be with a halfback, but you're running the same option every time. But on gun, there's different reads, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. The read key stays the same. It's the inside shoulder, but the reaction will be different. But this one is a give read because the inside shoulder went away. In this diagram, the read goes outside, which means it's a give to the running back. All right, this one, I don't have him doing anything. And this is what I tell you, this is it depends read. Which one is that dude? You may have a different opinion, that's fine. But my default would be to give it to the running back. But if your quarterback is that dude, you may have a different opinion. So I like him one-on-one with this kid right here. This kid hadn't committed. We're going to keep it, go right here one-on-one, boom, 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 because you're blocking everything inside. He put a move on him and dip right in here, put a move on him, go outside. And again, that depends. Now, we're just coaching regular players, good football players, but not dudes. They'll never play on Saturday, at least on TV. Then I would say give it to the running back because you're blocking that anyway. And the same thing I said on RPOs, if in doubt, give to live. Because at the end of the day, you're blocking that. On this one, you're blocking trap. It could be zone. It could be GT counter. It could be power. I don't care. But you're blocking it. And as long as that dude is not squeezing, you got a football play over here. If your line does their job, you got a football play. If you're not sure, give it. But the main thing is you want to make sure the quarterback's sure if he squeezes, he's keeping it. And this is what I mean by that dude. Back in the early 80s when Bo Jackson was playing at Auburn and somebody asked Pat Dye something, and it was something that wasn't necessarily sound. And he said, sometimes you have to let Bo be Bo. Okay? Now, you may not have Bo Jackson, but you may have a reasonable facsimile thereof at your level, that he is that dude at your level. He never will be Bo. God only made one Bo. But in your league, you may have a guy like that. All right, before we go any further, let's go ahead and hit up our commercial for Just Play Sports Solutions. Y'all listen to everything they have to offer. And when your video's over, call my buddy, Coach Brad Rumsey, and you see his information right there. All right, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsor. Hey coaches, let me tell you about our partners over at Just Play Sports Solutions. All the play diagrams on Football Talk with Coach Chip since the spring of 2021 have been done by the My Just Play app Just Play Sports Solutions created. You can find it at myjustplay.com. Team packages, individual packages, which is what I got. With the team package, you create your playbooks, you make scout cards, you can add video to the play so the diagram literally comes to life. The players get an app, they put it on their phone, so you don't have to print any more playbooks, any more game plans, any more scouting reports. And since players never go anywhere without their phones, their playbook is always with them. Contact my buddy Brad Rumsey at brumsey@justplayss.com, brumsey@justplayss.com, or call him by phone at 517-937-5433. Tell him Coach Chip sent you. All right, coaches, be sure to contact Brad Rumsey. You see his contact info here, his email and his phone number. Let him hook you up. Let him walk you through it and see what Just Play Sports Solutions has to offer you. All right, reading shoulders, frontside reads, and the bash, which is the same read. The bash and the frontside reads the same read. The power sweep on the right here and the counter bash is read the same way, but it's different from the one we just did. And here's why. The quarterback is now taking the role of the dive back. He's the one hitting it inside. You'll see what I'm talking about, and we'll get more into that. I'll show you the diagram in a minute, a blown up version of it. Okay. The quarterback should focus on the inside shoulder of the pad tip of the EMLOS again, the read key, the defensive end, man on line of scrimmage. It could be the 9 tech who's an outside backer. I don't know. You want the quarterback's eyes on the defensive end's inside shoulder. If the read closes, that means his near shoulder comes inside. That is a give, because remember, we're giving it outside now. So if you want to equate it to old school triple option, the running back is like the pitch man, kind of, even though there's no pitch. And the quarterback is the dive back. So this is a different read. I would not run all the ones I'm going to have on this video, because you don't want to be changing up your quarterback's reads. So on this one, I'm reading this one. This one, I'm reading that one. You want to be able to do a 5-minute period every day of mesh and read, meshing with the running back, and him making the same read all the time. Now, if they get really good at it and you want to put another kind of read in, go ahead, more power to you. But I would just do one, like the one we did on the first play, where you're reading the backside in. That's a different read than this. Now, he's still reading the same body part, the inside tip of the shoulder pad of the DN of the read key. But it's different. Are you keeping, are you giving? So if the read key closes on these two examples, that means his near shoulder comes inside. That's a give. If the near shoulder is going up the field, that is a keep. Because remember, the quarterback's the dive now. And I'll show you the diagrams in a minute. And if the near shoulder is going away, that too is a keep read. The quarterback becomes the de facto dive player on these and on the power toss. And I think I got that later too. Again, if the key read sits or squats, then it depends. But I say give it to the running back. Because if he's sitting or squatting and your running back is worth anything, he's going to outrun that joker. Very important to tell your running back it's like a jet. There's no cut up. He wants to get outside because we're not blocking inside. We're blocking power or counter inside. We're not blocking a sweep. And so what's going to happen is the backers are going to go, oh crap, and they're going to pursue. So you want to run away from them because you already got a head start. The defensive end, if he squats, goes, oh crap, and he's going to turn, get flat, and go. So if he cuts up inside, he's helping the pursuit get to him quicker. Very important point. Tell your running back. It's the same mindset that I use on jet. They want to get to the jungle. They want to get outside the numbers. All right, so this one is the counter bash. And bash means back away. And that's why I put that on social media yesterday. I said, which side is backside? Now, everybody said, except I think one person said that the front side is whatever side the ball goes to. But everybody else said it's wherever the down blocks are, or wherever the pullers are going. And I said, yeah, that's what I did. That's what we did too. But that's why I was thinking about it, because I was building this video, building this presentation. And I said, I wonder what everybody else thinks. So the read key in this one has squeezed. He has chased the backside tackle as he is wrapping on the GT. And all you're doing is running your GT counter. If you got GT counter in and you got a quarterback that can read it, put this in. It has a whole new dimension to your run game. If your quarterback can run, now here's the other thing. Because he becomes the de facto dive guy, I'm not crazy about this or the power sweep read, because now you're running your quarterback into the crap, into the box. I like the one where the quarterback's keeping it outside, like the first one, the trap, the counter, where you're reading the backside guy. I like that because now he's keeping it outside the mess. The DN is squeezed and he's outside the box. But this is good. This, teams like, Auburn when they had Cam, and Florida when they had Tebow, and there's other schools that have, the bigger quarterbacks. If you got a fullback type body at quarterback, by all means run it. I just personally don't like putting my quarterback in the crap. And that's because for so many years we had really good quarterbacks, but we didn't have much behind them. So I'm not going to run him up in there and get him killed or get him dinged up. Maybe lowers his shoulder. Now his throwing shoulder is bruised, and now it takes away a big chunk of our game. Now, if that's not your game, go right ahead and do it. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you my opinion on this. So this is an easy give read for the quarterback. He's going to give it to the running back who's crossing his face and running the sweep, because the end has gone inside and cannot make the play on the running back. Okay? Now this is a keep read, because he runs his happy butt up the field, and if you give it to him now, he's going to meet your running back and make a tackle for a loss, because that inside shoulder went up the field. It did not come inside. If it comes inside, it's a give. Same applies if he gets wide. Okay, now let's look at the power read. That's what most people call it. I call it the power sweep read because I ran a different power read where my quarterback was not running off tackle. But if in this one, it's basically the same read. It's basically the same mindset. If the read key, the blue guy, the blue E, runs upfield or runs outside for whatever reason, it's an easy keep read because you're blocking power in here. Just like a while ago, you were blocking counter. And you got to remember, the quarterback can't be looking at the blocking. He's got to be reading the read key. That's the big thing. And you got to practice it. You've really got to spend, I would, if option was a big part of my game, 2 or 3 days a week, I'd have a period where all we did was read mesh. Mesh up with the running backs and read. If it's nothing but you, coach, being the read guy, okay, or the running back or quarterback that's not in the rep is the read guy. I like doing it when I coached them because I knew what I wanted them to see and all this kind of stuff. But if the read key is running up the field or widening, it's an easy keep read. Quarterback's going to run it right here. And it'd be just like running power. So the quarterback will pull the ball and run power off tackle. He becomes the dive back. He becomes the guy running the power. Important coaching point. Wide receivers on this one and on this one, the bash, they must assume that it's a sweep every time. Years ago, when we did wristbands, on their wristband, it didn't have the name of the play. It just told them what to do. They thought it was the same blocking rules as jet. Okay? He got number one got number one, number two got number two, number three got number three from the sideline. Just blocked it by the numbers. And you want to get into cracking and all that, go right ahead. You can get number one, get number two get number three, and number three go out here and get him. That's fine. Ever how you do it. You be you. Okay? But the wide receivers can't be looking back. And I see this. If they know what the play is, like I know a team that runs the power toss read. And they sent me some film. and you can see the number 2 receiver was jogging off the line looking over his shoulder to see if the ball was pitched or not. You can't do that. Either you got to coach them up to just go block, or just leave them in the dark and let them think, oh, it's a sweep. Because they've got to be blocking sweep the whole time, because we don't, when the ball snapped, it's 50-50, dude. We don't know what this guy going to do. Is he going to run up the field, or is he going to squeeze the down block? If he squeezes the down block, it's a sweep. If he runs up the field, it's a keep. But they do not need to be looking inside or looking over their shoulder to see what's going on. They got a job to do. All right, this one he squeezed, so this is a give. This is a give because the defensive end's near shoulder comes inside. And that's all the quarterback's looking at it. It's like the old expression, aim small, miss small. So what you're doing, much like Ted Williams used to say when he was one of the greatest hitters ever, he was trying to find a dot. And he said, if you look at a ball when it's rotating, you can find it. And he would find a spot on the ball. Now, this is the last guy to bat over 400, y'all. So you want to find a spot on the ball and hit that. Same thing with your quarterback read. You want to find a spot on the read key. And we're telling you that spot is inside shoulder tip. Not just look at him. Look at the inside shoulder pad tip. And that will tell you. If that tip comes inside, he's giving it on this. If that inside tip runs up the field or runs away, he's keeping it. And as I said earlier, as a reminder, the running back cannot cut it up like a buck or a pin and pull. He must run it like a jet and get to the numbers or wider. Get to the numbers or wider, because we're not blocking these guys in here like it's a sweep. The interior line and the 2 inside linebackers are being blocked for power. So as soon as they see, oh, it's a give, they're going to get off. And there's a good chance our linemen won't be able to stay with those blocks because they're blocking power. Something else too. Our linemen don't know it's a read. They're told power. The way we did it, we just told them to block power. That way they're blocking their butt off. They're not looking over their shoulder to see what it is either. Because you get a real good, a conscientious lineman that thinks he knows football. And he's going like, well, if they give it, I want to be able to, pin my guy inside. And so he's looking. No. He's got to block power. Everybody's got a job to do. These guys in here have got to block power, and these guys out here have got to block sweep. On the other play, the guys inside block GT counter. These guys block sweep. And everybody's got to do their job because nobody knows who's getting the ball. Wide receivers always assume it is a sweep, and they have to execute their blocks properly and accordingly. And the linemen always think it's a power or a counter, depending on which one you're running. All right, now, this is the power toss. By the way, same read, same idea. Quarterback on this one is reading the DN. The DN runs upfield or widens. He's going to fake the toss, get downhill, and run the power. Okay, because he ran up the field or he widened. This is the power toss. By the way, it's the same read. And look at me, I typoed. It's power twos. It's power toss. The quarterback will fake a toss to the running back and run the power off tackle up inside. Wide receivers, they're still stalking because they think it's a sweep. To them, it's the same as jet. You got to block the guys on the edge. Quarterback's keeping it, and you're running power. All right, here's power toss. What if he squeezes the down block? Guys in a 5, tackle blocks down. He squeezes right here. Where did the inside shoulder tip go? It came inside, so that means he tosses it. Now, I would not tell my quarterback to carry out his fake. Don't run him up in there to get hit. And that goes for the other ones too. If you give it, take 2 steps like you got it and stop and back out. Don't give those guys a chance to hit you. So he was faking, he had it. Take a step or 2, no more than 3. Like you got it, and get the heck out, back up out of there. Unless you're fortunate enough that you got plenty of quarterbacks. This is not under center. This is not Alabama in the 70s where they played 2 or 3 quarterbacks every Saturday. Okay, you got a guy that's the starting quarterback, and he's a starting quarterback for a reason. Another reason why I don't hate these options. I just preferred to run a different one where my quarterback was the outside guy and not the inside guy. Then he can carry out his fake like old school. But running him up in there like a fullback without the football, you're just telling the guys inside, especially the guy that's unblocked, the DN, the guy we're reading, is a free hitter. So let's run up in there and get our teeth knocked out with our best quarterback. If he's not the best quarterback, then why the hell is he starting at quarterback? Don't do that. So again, running back can't cut up like it's a buck or a pin and pull. He's got to keep it outside like it's a jet because we're not blocking sweep on the inside. We're blocking power. Also, let's say this is a pretty good player. He takes 2 steps inside. Quarterback sees his inside shoulder come inside. He goes, oh, that's a toss. Flips it out here. He's a pretty good player. Sticks his cleats in the dirt and comes down the line. Make him chase the running back. Make him chase the ball. Don't cut up right here. And now he's got him a shot coming from the inside. Keep it outside on these particular, on the bash, on the power sweep read, and on the power toss read. The running back, if they get it, they got to keep it outside and run to the jungle. Get to the numbers, get below the numbers, get outside the numbers, get away from all the guys. We're not blocking inside. If for some reason he has to cut up, tell him to get his butt back outside quick as he can. Like I say, outside linebacker really flew up. Cut up, get back outside. All right, now you say, Coach, you kept saying this is the one you prefer. This is what I call power veer, for lack of it. Really, in our system, we call it power read. And the other one I call power sweep read. This is the one I prefer. Look where the quarterback is keeping it, and look where the quarterback is faking it. He's outside the mess. And I've done several videos on this. I've done 2 or 3 where we talked about it, and you can go back and look at the video clips of it. It's good stuff, guys. I'm telling you, it's good stuff. But they're blocking power on the inside. You can do it same side, or you can do it pistol, put him behind. We liked it pistol. We just did. We didn't do a lot of same side back then. But you can just get same side, or take a step right here, and you're screaming, pressing the A-gap. Tell your running back, run the A-gap until you can't. Run the A-gap until you can't. So if something like if they run there's a guy in here, you can bend it out. Push it. And here's why. You suck those linebackers up, they get caught up in the wash of the down blocks. If you're threatening the A-gap, they're going to insert. That's what they're taught. And so you get them to step up, and now here comes the guys from the outside, the tackle blocking down, or it could be a guard blocking down, whatever it is, and they get caught up in it. So press the A-gap. All right. So and the read's a little different. All right, so the running back's got to hug the rump line. That's the down blocks. That's the line of butts created by the down blocks. That's in the gap down backer manual, offensive line manual. And this one's a give because the defensive end, the blue guy here, his near shoulder stayed outside. He ran upfield, or if he goes out, either way, the shoulder is outside. That near shoulder tip. Aim small, miss small. If the read key runs up the field or slants out, it is a give read for the quarterback. The quarterback gives because the defensive end's inside shoulder pad tip did not come inside. Coach and point. The number 1 wide receiver always assumes there's a bubble to number 2. So that block is made right there. Okay. Number 2 runs the bubble. Honest to God, I can think of 2 or 3 times, and I think the throw was horrible. We just never had to do it. We just never, because this guy the dog ran with the bubble. And you'll see on the next slide where it's a keep, I put how we eventually started blocking it. We told our H to miss the DN and look against the 3-3 or any defense, look for a backer scraping over the top in case they're doing some type of gap exchange or exchanging roles where the end comes inside and the linebacker comes outside. Because this guy, the bubble took care of this guy. And if he doesn't, you get the block here on this backer if he comes out here. And you can flip it out there. And if you want to, and there's a video on this too, go back and look at option, running the option, the triple option with power blocking. Just go to my page or go to Google, type in Coach Chip, running the option with power blocking or running the option with gap down backer blocking. And you can put him over here and put him in motion, the Z, and run old school triple option football with your power blocking. You don't have to put in another blocking scheme. Your offensive line coach will love you. He'll sing at your wedding. I promise. But this one's a keep because the D ends near shoulder, the tip of it, comes inside, so the quarterback disconnects and keeps right here. Like I said, we ran this a ton over the years, maybe pitched through that bubble 3 times. Now, we never ran that motion with the pitch man with the power read, but we did with our trap read. That very first one that I showed you, we would bring the Z either in twirl motion, bring him back toward the tailback, and then he'd get in pitch relationship, or we'd run tail motion where he comes right here and gets in pitch relationship. And we were blocking trap. We were a heavy trap team when we did it. When we got away from trapping and became more power and counter dominant, we changed the option to this, and it worked great for us. All right, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Dang, I went a long time, but I think it was good information. Hey, buymeacoffee.com/Coach Chip. Head over there. I had 3 or 4 guys in the last week that hit me up and bought me a cup of coffee. I don't drink coffee, but I will drink a brewed liquid with that money that you decide to gratuitize. So go to buymeacoffee.com/Coach Chip. Coach and Chip are capitalized. I guess that matters. And if you're so inclined, buy me a cup of coffee and be a patron of the show and of the YouTube channel, and I sure would appreciate it. Also, check me out at Football Talk with Coach Chip Facebook group. Getting close to 3,000 members, going good over there, good conversations. And on Twitter/X, I'm at Chip Siegel, Coach Chip at Chip Siegel. If you subscribe to the channel, look at what you get. I'm not going to read them to you, but there's over 60 free resources, yours for the asking. All I ask is subscribe to the channel. You can't beat that. I think it's a fair exchange. If you need any help with anything, you're getting tired of learning from your mistakes, learn from mine. You're one email away from over 40 years of experience and over 40 years of mistakes in coaching. So hit me up at siegel.chip@gmail.com. I'm available for in-person visits, Google Meet clinics, consultations, and installs. Just did a Google Meet last week with a young coach that's putting in some new things that he got from Coach Chip into his existing system. And it's a perfect fit. It goes right in. There's no problem there. But he had some questions about how you do it. I'll tell you what it was the bundles. He had gotten he had subscribed to the channel. He'd gotten the bundle package, like how do you install the bundles, but he had some more questions. And so we talked for about an hour, and I pulled up some things and I showed him how we did it. I walked him through it, how we created our mini scripts that we call bundles. Go back and check out that on the podcast. It's just go to the podcast and look for bundles. It's season 2 in the single digits. I don't know which one it is. All right. Until next time, y'all, be elite.